Good girl, Harper. Oh, good girl. Who's a good girl? Harper is.
Hello and welcome to the final episode of Let's Play Victoria 2 Historical Flavor Mod, where we are playing as Ethiopia. We are on the eve of the very first parliamentary election in Ethiopia's history. It appears for the moment that the ruling party, the royal faction, will gain a plurality but not a majority of seats, at least if I am reading the information in my politics tab correctly. It will be a highly pluralistic assembly with a fairly sizable socialist and liberal representation, but also some reactionaries and fascists holding seats as well. In short, it will be an interesting political landscape in Ethiopia's future. As for how the game itself has gone and what the future of this channel is, that's mostly what I would like to talk about. Now, as you can see, we're in 15th right now, although it's actually more like 13th. We have Canada and China, which are both mobilized at the moment, and I believe that is the only reason why their military score has gotten them to tip over us for a moment, so to speak. But in any case, 13th is probably not as high as I was hoping to get us by the end of this. I was hoping to get us 7th or 8th, and maybe even 6th, somewhere on the list of great powers, but that just wasn't in the cards. And as for why that is, well, I've got a couple of different theories. Losing early on would have been a big deal, but more to the point, compared to how large our territory was and how large our overall population was, we just kind of never were able to sustain particularly large soldier pops. We just weren't able to support. I mean, right now we have basically under 150,000 troops, which is not very much at all. Also, economically, it's possible we may have stayed in Russia's sphere of influence too long, and that may have hampered our factory's growth somewhat. But I felt that I felt there was no alternative, given how so many of our important resource provinces in Persia and China were very dependent on Russia for their defense. Since my soldier pops were low, so I needed to sort of keep them at home or keep them all in one place. And also, there were probably some mistakes. I probably, that Great War really didn't do much for me. Getting involved in that Great War and then not really getting much for it, although, funnily enough, I came out of it better than any other group. Britain, by the way, between our last recording and now, they were involved trying to support Austria-Hungary to keep Italy from getting South Tyrol, which they were not able to do. Let's see here. I think this is Trieste. They still have that, but yeah, that's yeah. Not even Britain is doing that well. It looks like this has been Germany's game, and also to perhaps even a truer extent, the United States' game. Also, good game for Sweden. Anytime you see Sweden among the great powers, that's kind of unusual. But yeah, I was hoping to get all of Egypt or all of the Nile Basin, get among the great powers, and I was not quite able to do that. I was able to. It wasn't a failure of an Ethiopia game. We still won the Great War, and we still claimed some victories, claimed some territory, made our mark among the nations of the world. We were not colonized. But yeah, again, another part of me wonders if part of the reason why part of the reason for it is that so much of our population. I mean, if you look here, I mean, we just got Alexandria, and like already over 10% of our pops are Egyptian, and yeah, we have 22%. Yeah, it adds up to only about a quarter of our population is either primary or accepted cultures. So that's probably got something to do with it. If we'd been able to get naval logistics, maybe we could have gotten the reform the colonial army decision, which would have gotten us a larger army, which again would have boosted our score. But again, it's not like I'm entirely dissatisfied with how we did. Above all else, I think I demonstrated how this game works, and in fact, in the ways that I failed or didn't quite live up to it, yeah, I think I satisfied the essential purpose of this first project. Now, 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 emphasis on the first project. I am going to be going on to other Let's Play series, and the first Let's Play series I want to do, no matter what, is an Elder Kings playthrough. I was going to do one as Skingrad, and a Crusader Kings 2 Elder Scrolls mod version, but yeah, right now there's a YouTube channel called Joe Oblivion who is doing a Skingrad playthrough, so I think I might be doing a sub-state of the Colovian Estates, and I'll explain what that means and what that whole situation is when we do it. But I also want to be doing a second one on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the same time, and originally that was going to be the converted Hearts of Iron 4 save of this game, but unfortunately, yeah, I've run into a bit of technical difficulty on that front because as it stands now, the converter cannot handle this historical flavor mod save. And the reason for that is the historical flavor mod, most especially when you have micronations still on, which unfortunately I forgot to turn that off. So you've got little substates like San Marino here. It changes the mapping, the provinces, the province IDs, and the what the map looks like. So that fouls things up. It's possible I could edit the save somehow, or create my own submod. But at present, I don't really have the time for that, and so I'm mostly just going to wait and hope that that future releases fix this problem. So I'm going to ask you in the comments to give me your feedback for what I should be doing next. One popular option I've been hearing is a Concert of Europe mod for Victoria 2, in which I play as Mexico, and that sounds like a great idea to me. I've also heard Romania suggested, and another thing I could do is attempt a challenge in Hearts of Iron 4 where I try to survive as Ethiopia in the base version of the game. That might be a fun fail save, a fun fail blog sort of thing in which I keep trying to beat my head against the wall until, I smash my way through. So that's something I could try. Again, leave your feedback in the comments, and I'd like to start on that series as well next week, as opposed to the Elder Kings series, which I hope to start on Friday, immediately the 2 days after this episode will air. So, look at the world now, and as it will be in a year and a half when this game ends, and we see it's quite different from the one we knew at the time. Certain empires are still standing. Austria-Hungary is still standing. Social democracy appears to be the dominant ideology of the day. We will see. We will have to imagine if that is going to continue. It'd be interesting, I think, to imagine what it would be like to live in this world. What kind of weird differences that the game couldn't capture we would see. But for now, we're going to have to only imagine. This has been Let's Play Victoria 2 Historical Flavor Mod. I have been Maricotti. You have been you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.
እናተቀመጥ ከልቢ ላይ ካንተ ውጪ ሌላ ሰው አላየ ማንም ሰው አይወድህም ከኔ በላየ ሆንከኝ ደስታዬ በደበረኝ ቀን ጸባይ ያለበትን ቀን ስላንተ ስባለው ቀኑ ሌሊት አላቅም ያላንተ ምን እንደምሆን ሁሌም ደስተኛ ነኝ ካንተ ጋር ስሆን የትም አይገኝም እንዳንተ አይነት ፍቅር ካንተ ሌላ ሰው እኔ አልፈልግም ትናፍቀኛለህ ሁል ቀን በጣም ስላንተ ሳስብ እንቅልፍ አይመጣም ናልኝ ስፈልግ ድረስልኝ ቶሎ ያ ያንተ ነገር መቼ ስለኔ አይሆንልኝ ስጠብቅ መቼም እንዳቀርብኝ አንተ በሌለበት አይገፋም ኑሮ ደስታ ሰጥቶ ከማን በላይ እኔን አስበልጦ ሁል ቀን በፍቅሩ ልቤን አስደስቶ አያውቅም በፍጹም እኔን አስከፍቶ ደስታ ሰጥቶ በሕይወት በጣም ትርጉም አሳይቶ ከምጠብቀው በላይ ፍቅር ሰጥቶ ቤቱ ሰርቶ ይኖራል ልቤን አይመስርቶ አያውቅም ልቤ ከሱ ሌላ ሰው ተመኝቶ አልፈልግም እኔ ሌላ አዋችልም አንተ መተው ቤቢ መቼም አታውም ምን ቀረኝ ብዬ ደሞ አላስበውም በጭራሽ እንዳንተ ማሰው ተገኝቶ እኔን ከልቡ ፈልጎ ከሴቶች ሁሉ አስበልጦ በቀልድ አይደለም ዝም ብሎ እሱ መጥቷል እኔም ብሎ ታዲያ ምን እጠብቃለሁ ሄጄ ሳምሳም ደስታ ለሰጠኝ ሰው እማ አይበቃም ቃ አንነጣጠልም በቃ ቀናችን ነው ዛሬ ማነው እስኪ ደስተኛ እንደኔ የመዋደድ ፋንታ የፍቅር ቀልቤ የማሸምተው ነው ሁሌ ያለ ከልብ በርትቶ እኔን አበርትቶ ደስታዬንም በአንዴ መስርቶ ጨዋታ ለለዛ ደስታን የሚገዛ ፍቅርን የሚያወዛ ሐዘን የሚያስረሳ በርትቶ እኔን አበርትቶ ደስታዬንም በአንዴ መስርቶ ጨዋታ ለለዛ ደስታን የሚገዛ ፍቅርን የሚያወዛ ሐዘን የሚያስረሳ ደስታ ሰጥቶ